Hey, thanks for clicking over and joining me here in After Effects as we go over this project and I show you how to create dynamic compositions. So without further ado, let's take a look at the artwork that I have set up and then we'll dive directly into how to make it dynamic. Here we have our sample lower thirds, and if I scrub through here, you can see that we have a ribbon that traces over the front of the lower third, and then we have full name, job title, and then a position for a Slack handle, as well as our corporate logo pop up. So there's also, if I play through here, you can see there is some easing and some bounce and just a nice sweet little animation. So this is what we are going to make dynamic. And before we get into that, let's make sure that we completely understand this expression, and I'm going to go through it and dissect it with you. So the first part of it starts like this comp. Right, and so if you see here, we're in a comp called discussion, right? So when we say this comp, we're talking about this one. Then we go forward here, and then the next portion of our expression is .name, right? So we are telling After Effects we are referring to the name of this composition. So in our case, that would be discussion. And if we go forward, then we begin with our function call of split, and then we open with our delimiters. In this case, we have a white space, a hyphen, and then another white space. And then continuing forward, we have our index, right? And so like we talked about before, arrays are zero-based index, so the first position is a 0 and not a 1, and then the second position obviously would be a 1. So we have position 0, we have index 0, and then we have index 1, and then we would have index 2. That is for an array that we are going to break into 3 pieces. So if we continue forward with here, we have full name, which we want to occupy position 0 in our array, and then we have job title that we want to occupy in the second position, which is index 1, and then we have Slack handle, which we want to fill in the third. Again, everything is indexed, well, everything is delimited, and in our case, we are going to delimit with a space, a hyphen, and then a space. And of course, the delimiters appear within quotation marks inside parentheses. Then if we go a little more forward, we'll see what we are looking for. If it were a case of me, it would be Marcus Romero, Associate Creative Director at Hey It's Emro, right? And to show you how to apply this, we are going to move over to another composition here, which is Hello Beautiful World. So here we are. We have 3 text layers on here. We have 0, 1, and 2. These will correspond to array indexes. And then we have those text layers here from top to bottom, 0, 1, and 2. So if I twirl this disclosure triangle down, you will see text, and then within text here we have source text. So what source text allows you to do is keyframe text changes. So say at 2 seconds out, I drop a keyframe, and in place of 0, I key in the word bananas. So as our playhead tracks forward, when it comes to 2 seconds, the word 0 will be replaced with the word bananas. That is source text. But what we're going to do is we are going to place our expression there. So if I back up and I option click here inside source text, it will give us a new expression. So here we go. Option click right there, and we have our placeholder expression that we are going to replace. So again, remember, we'll key this out. We have this comp, and then we have .name, and then we have split, and then our delimiter. But here again, hello beautiful world. You see that? Hello Beautiful World is the name of our composition, and we have spaces. So we are going to delimit with 1 space, but we want to fill this text placeholder with the content of position 0 in our array. So we are going to open up a square bracket, and we're going to type 0. As soon as I click off of here, right there where it says hello beautiful world will be hello. Okay, so just go ahead and copy this so we don't have to key it out every time. So then we're going to come up to 1 and twirl this down, click here in source text and paste, and then we want index 1, which should become the word beautiful. There it is. And then the same thing here on text. On 2, we're going to click, and then this becomes index 2, and that will become the word world. And then if you see, because we have co-opted our composition name, if I change this to hey beautiful world, our copy changes automatically. So this is how we are going to build out that lower third to be dynamic. So let's switch over to that. Here we are. Full name, job title, Slack handle. Full name, job title, Slack handle. There's a lot of other things going on here, but they're all shied, and just in order to keep this nice and clean, and so we could see exactly the portions that we are messing with, I am going to reshy everything and just leave these text layers behind. So here we go. Full name. I'm going to click, twirl, option click, and we'll key it out this time. This comp dot name dot split, and then remember we have open quotation and we have space, a hyphen, and a space, and this is the first one. It is filled with the content of position 0, and as soon as I click off of here, you will see lower third, and you'll say, what's up with that, right? Well, a couple things. The delimiter is not, let's back up. Lower third is the name of our composition, and it is not breaking into lower and third because there is no hyphen surrounded by spaces to validate the delimiter. So let's back up. Let's name this let's do me. So we have Marcus Romero, Associate Creative Director, and then we have hyphen, space, hyphen, and at hey underscore it's underscore MRO. Alright, so as soon as I click off of here, we should see lower third be replaced by my name. Boom. Well, there we go. And in order to speed this up, let's just copy this bit because it's the same every time. The only thing we're changing is the index number. So we'll come here to job title, twirl this down, option click, paste, and then this becomes index position 1. If I click off of here and our display is refreshed, you will see Associate Creative Director. Now, this last bit here, let's do Slack handle and text, source text, paste, and this becomes number 2. Boom. At hey, it's Emro. I don't know if you were quick enough to see that, but there is a few other things going on with this. If I remove my first name and just put Romero, you will see that our bar shrunk, and the same thing with Associate Creative Director. If I change this to just Associate for now, let's see, and click off of there, boom, our bar shrank. So there's some other stuff going on here which I'm not going to go over right now because it is outside the scope of what we are doing. But if you would like to know what I did to make this essentially be responsive, comment on the blog post and I will send you an email and let you know exactly what I did to make that happen. So we come Associate Creative Director at hey, it's Emro. And boom. There we go. So let's make a couple of these to be dynamic. Here we go. So we have our podcast guide. That's not me, but let's drag this directly onto here. There we are. All right. Marcus Romero. Let's duplicate that. You know what? We have one up here. Let's open this up, and we're gonna let's do David Parker. David Parker. Space hyphen space. There are two of them. Yeah. All right. So he is creative director and VP, and his Slack handle is @David Parker with an E. If I drop that in our composition, we have David Parker. Play these. Let me stagger them a bit just so it looks a little neater. And first playthrough might be a little slow, but here we go. Creative director, David Parker. And we create another one. Let's see here. We got Josh Norman. Josh Norman, creative director, EVP, and he is Josh Norman. Boom. And let's drag him onto our composition. And here he is. All right. There we go. All of them dynamic. If we want to change one of these, we can make this Brian Eichhoff. And creative director, principal, and he is HMFIC. Boom. There we go. All of them dynamic and still retaining all the keyframing, all the animations that we set up. But you can make them over and over again, as many as you want. So I hope this made sense to you. I hope that you take it and apply the concepts here to, hope you look for it. Look for places to use this, because it really is quite cool and really help you out. So I bid you adieu.